Rachel, Dan here. A number of comparisons have been made to the January 6 attack on the US Capitol. Do you think that's fair, given the role that the military has played in this case in Brazil?
Yeah, so I think it is fair, in part because of the way that the rhetoric from Bolsonaro and some of his surrogates in the time leading up to this, and particularly these concerns about fraud in the electoral process. I think that definitely contributed here. What, of course, is complicated here is, we still don't know what sort of complicity there was from security services and the like. As with the U.S., there was either a lack of recognition that these people constituted a threat, but clearly, I think this, if anything, might well speed up some consolidation of power that President Lula may be doing in terms of federalizing security locally in and around Brasilia, but also even question marks about some of the political appointees in the foreign ministry. So, I mean, I see parallels, but of course, every country is different. And I do think what's notable, of course, has been the global condemnation of what's happened in Brazil and this sort of and this caution.
Yes.
And I'll also be interested to see President Biden has extended not only an olive branch, but a visit. And so in a context where there was a question of where was sort of, Brazil foreign policy going to align, this may sort of emphasize some coordination amongst democracies, including even with the U.S.
Right. Just on that point, how will the United States respond? Because Bolsonaro is in, I guess you could call it a self-imposed exile in Florida as we speak. How much of a headache is that for the Biden administration?
I definitely think it's a big headache for the Biden administration, and they'll be sort of waiting to see how things play out. I think the ball is in the court of the Brazilian government at this point. Do they recall him? Do they call for extradition? And I think the Biden administration will be watching for cues from Lula's government rather than wanting to tip the scales one way or the other.